Hello, welcome to another episode of Matthew Answers the Internet, the show where I'm Matthew, with a lot of your help trying to answer those burning board game questions that we find as we are scrolling along our journey on the internet. And the first question, I thought we'd start off with a little bit of spice, is does board game media, podcasts, YouTube and blogs really matter? Now, I am part of the board game media, whether we like it or not. So take my answer to this with that bias fully in mind. It's difficult because in some ways I want to say, does it matter in what regard? What I should play, what board games I should buy, what games are good? Then in some extent, no, it kind of doesn't matter. It's what you like that matters. I think board game media really is finding people that you trust, that you feel like you have a bond with, someone that you feel like is telling you the truth, someone that has a similar style of game that they enjoy. And then it matters because it can act as asking a friend online if they liked a game to an extent. If Z Garcia from the Dice Tower likes a card game, I'm probably going to like that card game. And I know that from 5 or 6 years of watching Z review and talk about card games. For me, board game media matters, and I'm trying to think of me the consumer rather than me the board game media person, because it's such a valid and important form, for me specifically, it's a form of entertainment. I watch a lot of board game reviews, and I watch a lot of them as entertainment. I watch Rado run through a game, or John Gets Games run through a game, or Slicker Drips go through a game as entertainment. I watch Board Game Ramblings or Foster the Meeple do reviews and stuff and talk about games as entertainment, and I'm missing out so many. Marco Omnigamer, I watch his reviews all the time. I watch so many content creators for board games pretty much as entertainment, and I find a comfort in that. For me, it matters a lot because it's important to me in that regard. Board game media that's super important to me now is Twitch. Twitch is it's a thing that exists. If you're not aware of Twitch, you can find our Twitch. Watch it played there. The link will be below, and it'll be there. I believe in the process. It'll be there. But also I find community there. And there is the fact that, does it matter to the industry? Yeah, it does, because board game media sells copies of games. So in that regard, undoubtedly, board game media matters. But does it matter for you at home? That's totally up to you. Put on it whatever value you want to take from it, because that value is there to take, because there's so many people willing to give it out. And on that note, I could not think of a better time to run a message from this episode's sponsor. So I'm over to Matthew, standing just over there for that. This episode is made possible in part by BONC, the fun, intense and strategic card game for kids and adults alike. Available on Kickstarter starting February 1st. It's a battle royale of card games in which players each start with 5 lives and must protect themselves at all costs while eliminating the other players. Bounce, block, weave and pummel your way ahead of your opponents in the fast-playing BONC. Throw down cards and match numbers and use crazy wild cards to attack, defend and even heal. It's every person for themselves, because the last one standing wins. And the losers have to go pick up Steve from the airport. Playfully annihilate the ones you love, all in the name of fun, by following the link in this video's description to the BONC Kickstarter, and get in on the action and exclusive stretch goal rewards right now. Okay, the next question is, what is your most anticipated game of 2022? It's that time of the year again, isn't it? Where we look forward and go, ooh, that's shiny and new. So what are you looking forward to? It's funny because at this time of year, as well as looking forward, there's a lot of board game media retroactively looking back at what were our favourite games of the year. What were our favourite games of 2021? And it's funny when you compare those lists to the previous years, what was I looking forward to? But often you kind of don't even know, for starters, what's coming out in 2022. We only know a fraction of the games that are coming out because a lot of those big releases are going to be sprung on us, big surprises before Gen Con or before Essen. So for me, I find these what are we looking forward to lists very interesting when compared to the previous what did we enjoy of that year. But like any other good consumer, we must consume. I do have a list of a few games that I'm really looking forward to coming in 2022. So I'll tell you what mine are, and I'd really love to know what games you're looking forward to. So below in the comments, I'd love to start a conversation about what games are we excited for in 2022. To start off with, I'm looking forward to Paint the Roses from North Star Games. Oh, I really liked it. It's this deduction game where you're trying to find out what patterns are in the garden before the Queen of Hearts chops off your head. It's like an Alice in Wonderland style themed deduction game, but geez, I really enjoyed it. I'm not like the biggest deduction game fan, and I just found myself really liking it. Also, the quality of the components it looks like the production is going to be fantastic. So that's what I'm very much looking forward to. My City, the Roll and Write. My City is one of my favourite games. Rainer Knizia is my favourite board game designer, and I'm looking forward to what this Roll and Write version of a Family Way Legacy game is like. I'm hoping it's got loads of like changing rules and stuff, and like a campaign, but we'll see. One more that I managed to demo, even though I only played a fraction of what the game has to offer, it seems like, and something that's really out of my wheelhouse that I actually enjoyed and I'm quite looking forward to this year is the Skyrim board game by Modiphius. It was really cool, and I thought it was ace. It really felt like going off doing loads of side quests in Skyrim, and you have the main mission and like things going on, but really you could just go and do another side quest. And my last 3 really anticipated games for 2022 are Last Light, which is Roy Canaday's 4X space game. Although I'm not sure if that's going to deliver in 2022, but it's definitely going to GameFound probably whilst this video is on. It's probably on GameFound right now. But that looks really cool, and I'm excited about trying that. I'm really excited about a game called Federation. Federation seems to be the Star Trek game that I've always wanted, though it's not Star Trek themed, just by Explore 8 games. And you're voting and doing this big interactive Euro game that's like you're a delegation of your small planetary like delegation. There's 5 planets that you have control of, and you're trying to join the Federation, and it sounds like the Star Trek game I've always wanted. And the last one is Sobek 2 Players, which is by Bruno Cathala and Sebastian Fouchon. And people are saying that it's like a mix between King Domino and Jaipur. And I'm like, yes, that sounds fantastic. I'm totally excited about that one. So yeah, Sobek 2 Players is the last one on my anticipation list. But there's so many games I'm looking forward to. So many games that I have no idea about, that I won't know about until they're literally there. I'll go, what the heck's this? Viticulture, one of my favourite games of all time. Getting an expansion. I'm excited about it. Do I know anything about it? No. So what are you games are you excited for? What's your anticipation list? Leave them below, and I'd love to see. Question 3 is another timely question, and it's what are your board game New Year's resolutions? Look, firstly, again, let's talk about this in the comments below, but I always go for a board game resolution, and I tell you, I don't follow through on them. Pretty much ever. But we're 1 month into this year, which is going well, I'm sure. And I have, so far, tracked all my plays. I'm going to see what I can collate from that data over the course of the year. That's my resolution. I feel like I get some enjoyment over looking back on the games I played, and that's what I'm doing. That's the one I'm going to try. Will I be doing it in March or April? Who knows? But that's the resolution I'm trying to do. My other resolution, I hope, is something that's more achievable, and that is I would like to be a better ambassador for the board game hobby than I am at the moment. I don't mean it as like an official capacity. I feel like more as the people I meet, the people I talk to, and that I interact with in my social groups and in my day-to-day life. I like to try and be a better ambassador for board games, because I just want more people to enjoy this hobby, and it takes that. It almost always takes meeting someone who's passionate about it, but not too pushy about it. That's going to tailor that experience for the person who you're trying to get into the hobby. But what are yours? Let me know. And the last question I have this month is, what games have a really small rule set? Looking for recommendations on games to show people who have little patience for lots of rules. Let's do this. I should have got these games ready before I started filming, but I did not. Card games. I picked out 3 card games I think are fantastic, all with really small... I've got loads of games to get through. So I would go with Llama. This is the party edition. Fantastic card game. Really simple rules. So much fun. Absolutely love Llama. For an older Reiner Knizia game, this is Loco, reprinted as Wildlife Safari. Slightly more difficult to get your hands on. My copy was destroyed in the mail when I got it, so I had to rebox it. But it's an incredible card game. And Fuji Flush by Friedman Freeze. If you've got a massive group of people, then Fuji Flush, it's a Stronghold title. Gosh, this is such an underrated, amazing card game that you can just play with a bunch of people. It's always good for just a massive laugh at the table. Fantastic game. In the abstract category, which is a category that I find myself in all the time, is Reiner Knizia. I love The Good Doctors. Rondo, massively underrated, under the radar game where you are just putting these little cool little chits out onto a board in a way to score points. When you first read the rules, you go, how is this a game? And then you play it and you go, this is so much fun. I've got Shobu, a game where what you do on one board changes what happens on another board. Beautiful production, super quick and easy to learn. And the other abstract game I went for is Glux, which kind of went under the radar. Glux is a game where you're pulling a tile out, and then what chip values on it allows you to put the tile where you're allowed to put it in reference to where the last tile was. And you're trying to do area control things. It's really fun. My Euro selection includes another yellow game, Speculation. This is a fantastic stock market speculation game by Dirk Henn. Completely under the radar. You'd think it wouldn't be. It's wicked. I mean, Alhambra, Dirk Henn, come on. Laugh out loud ridiculousness in a Euro game. Oh, it's brilliant. 7 Wonders Architects. This is the new 7 Wonders. Simple to learn, really easy to teach, fantastic, a lot of fun to play, and Can't Stop, Sid Sackson's classic. We love Can't Stop. You can't stop. That's the fun. Into the thematic category, which I found harder to do. Those big thematic games, that's the hardest place to find. Small rule set to big success and fun. But I went with Destinies, mainly because Destinies, the app here drives the game a lot of the time. So even though there's more rules, you don't need to know them because the app will just tell you what to do. And the other one is Unmatched. I think Unmatched has a relatively small rule set for what you're kind of doing. And the card pretty much tells you exactly what you're allowed to do on your turn. Once you learn just the quick strategy, the quick way the game works, the card tells you what to do. So you don't need to know what everybody's cards do. You just need to know what your card does. Party games is where most people are going to go with a small rule set. For good reason. The rules to Sow Clover, for instance, are so short and quick and simple, but the game itself is incredibly fun. Strike, the game of gladiators fighting to death in a tournament bowl of doom. Fantastic fun. Brilliant. And the last one, P for Pizza. One of the most underrated party games of all time, where you are drawing cards, trying to make a pizza, but really it's just a word association game. Absolutely love P for Pizza by Big Potato. It's great. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this month's Matthew Answers the Internet. I just appreciate you so much. If you have any answers to the questions that we have, what games do you think have a small rule set that are just really good games to get people into the hobby who are a bit hesitant because of the wall that a wall of text can really provide? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Bye, everyone.